Have you ever faced a challenge so big that it felt impossible to overcome? The temptation to complain, to lose faith, becomes overwhelming. But what if, even in the darkest moments, there's a power in gratitude that can change everything? This is the story of someone who, against all odds, chose to remain thankful, no matter the cost. Joshua was born with a severe disability. Abandoned by his parents at birth, he grew up in an orphanage where life was harsh, full of ridicule and constant hardship. His body didn't work like everyone else's. But his spirit? His faith was unshakable. Every day, despite his limitations, Joshua thanked God. He believed that his life had purpose, even if he didn't understand it yet. But here's the twist: while others gave up, Joshua's gratitude did something unimaginable, something that changed his entire life forever. As Joshua faced severe hardships, including a devastating storm that damaged the orphanage and a severe illness, his faith remained unshaken. Even when others questioned why he continued to thank God despite his suffering, Joshua kept his gratitude. His faith, he believed, gave him the strength to persevere. Years passed, and Joshua faced more challenges, yet he never stopped being thankful. He worked hard in a humble job, still enduring ridicule, but always grateful. Then, one night, after a long day's work, Joshua had a life-changing dream, one that would soon lead to an extraordinary miracle. This is his story. Joshua was born with a disability that limited his physical abilities from birth. His life, from the very start, was filled with challenges that most people could never imagine. His parents, unable to cope with his condition, abandoned him when he was just a baby, leaving him behind in an orphanage. This was only the beginning of his struggles, as the orphanage proved to be no sanctuary from hardship. At the orphanage, Joshua faced constant comparisons to the other boys. Simple tasks that came naturally to them were monumental challenges for him. Instead of support, he was often met with ridicule. The other children mocked him, making him feel isolated. Yet, despite everything, Joshua clung to something deeper, a steadfast faith and an unwavering gratitude to God. Even at a young age, he understood that every struggle had a purpose, though it wasn't always clear to him what that purpose was. Joshua believed that God could heal him at any moment, but he also knew that, for now, he had to be thankful for what he had. Every day, he thanked God for the gift of life, for the small blessings, and even for the hardships. He believed everything was part of a larger plan. His faith was unshakable, and he trusted that, one day, he would understand why he had to go through so much. One day, a powerful storm hit the orphanage, leaving the dormitory roof damaged. The boys were called to help with repairs. Joshua knew he couldn't physically help, but he felt compelled to participate. He watched others lifting tiles and repairing the roof, wishing he could do more. Yet, instead of complaining, he knelt down and prayed. He thanked God for the life he had given him and the roof over his head, even though it was damaged. As Joshua prayed, the other boys laughed at him. They mocked his faith, questioning why God allowed him to live with such a disability. But Joshua, with a gentle smile, simply said, "I am grateful for the strength to keep going. God has a purpose for me, and I thank him for every day I live." His words, though simple, held the power of unwavering belief in something bigger than his struggles. Years passed, and Joshua grew into a teenager. A harsh winter brought illness to the orphanage, and Joshua fell ill as well. The sickness took a toll on his already fragile body, and he struggled to recover. His fever was high, and his energy drained with every passing day. But even in the midst of his suffering, Joshua continued to thank God. He thanked God for the food he received, for every small improvement, and for the strength to endure. His faith was questioned again. "Why do you thank God when everything seems to be falling apart?" others asked. But Joshua, with quiet confidence, replied, "God is with me in every breath I take. I am grateful for his presence and love, even when things are tough. I believe there is a purpose in all of this, even if I don't understand it now." When Joshua turned 18, he was forced to leave the orphanage. With no family and few opportunities due to his disability, he found work in a small workshop. Life was tough, and every day presented a new challenge. Joshua struggled to make ends meet, living in a cramped room with barely enough money for basic needs. But even then, he found reasons to be grateful. Each day, he thanked God for the strength to keep going and for the people he met along the way. His co-workers, however, didn't share his perspective. They mocked his faith, telling him that if God truly cared, he wouldn't be suffering so much. But Joshua, with his ever-present smile, replied, "My faith gives me the strength to face each day. I am thankful for every blessing, no matter how small. I believe God has a purpose for me, and he will show me in his time." One night, after another exhausting day, Joshua fell into a deep sleep. In his dream, he saw a radiant figure approach him, filled with peace and light. It was Jesus, who spoke to him with kindness and love. "Joshua, your faith and gratitude are remarkable," Jesus said. "The day of your victory is coming. Your prayers will be answered." In the dream, Joshua saw himself healed, free from the disability that had defined his life. A deep sense of peace washed over him, something he had never experienced before. Jesus smiled and reassured him, "Trust in me, for I have a wonderful purpose for you." When Joshua woke up, he was overwhelmed with joy. To his amazement, his leg had grown, and he was no longer dependent on a prosthesis. Joshua stood up, testing his new strength. He walked for the first time in years, fully healed. Tears of gratitude filled his eyes, and he immediately knelt to thank God. He promised to dedicate his life to helping others and sharing the message of faith and gratitude. His miracle became known throughout the community, and those who had mocked him were left speechless. Joshua's life took a new direction. He founded an organization to support people with disabilities, sharing his story of faith and gratitude. His message of overcoming adversity spread far and wide. Schools, hospitals, and other organizations invited him to speak, and he inspired countless individuals to believe that, no matter the challenge, God has a purpose for each of us. Joshua became a living testament to the power of faith and gratitude. His story proved that, even in the most difficult situations, God has a plan for us. Through gratitude, we unlock the power to transform our lives. As Jesus taught, faith can move mountains, and gratitude is the key to miracles. Joshua's journey reminds us that faith and gratitude are not just about thanking God for the good things in life. They are about trusting that God is working behind the scenes, even when we can't see the bigger picture. Gratitude opens the door to miracles, and faith gives us the strength to face life's challenges, no matter how insurmountable they may seem. If you are facing difficulties today, think of Joshua. He had every reason to be bitter, but instead, he chose gratitude. He knew that, in God's time, everything would fall into place. Just as Joshua experienced a miracle, you too can find the strength to transform your life by trusting and thanking God, even in the toughest times.
And that's the end of today's video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to enable notifications so you never miss a new video. Your support means a lot, and I look forward to sharing more content with you soon. See you next time.